let's be honest. April for WWE television has been terrible. The ratings speak for themselves. Apparently, last night's rating for Raw, the numbers went down under 2 million, something like that. And you look at last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, it was lazy. Pure laziness. And you think to yourself, okay, maybe with SmackDown, WWE will redeem itself. That's what I thought. Because for a lot of people, SmackDown Live is always better than Raw. In some weird way, but it is. And I went into watching SmackDown Live hoping that would be true. And goddamn, WWE Creative have proved to me once again that they can be lazy 2 days in a row. And I know a lot of people were celebrating the fact that Road Dogg is no longer a part of Creative, but goddamn, at least when he was part of Creative for SmackDown Live, at least SmackDown Live was tolerable. Believe it or not, I know a lot of dorks would not want to hear that, and the same hashtag activists that were writing hashtag fire Road Dogg, the same dorks that are writing hashtag Ruby in the Bank, if you will. But goddamn, Road Dogg is gone, and SmackDown is just like goddamn lazy shit. And let me ask you a question. I want you guys to just be honest with yourself for once in your lives. Be honest, okay? Put your hand in your heart. Man, woman, whatever you are, I want you to be honest. Are you excited for Money in the Bank, which, by the way, is 2 weeks from now? Did this episode of SmackDown Live excite you in any way, shape, or form for Money in the Bank? Did Raw last night excite you for Money in the Bank? Maybe you are looking forward to Styles versus Rollins. Maybe you're looking forward to seeing Becky try to defend both her titles in some way, shape, or form and see if she can pull the impossible. Or are you looking forward to seeing Kofi Kingston have his first title defense against Kevin Owens? And let's be real about it, I don't know. I'm just getting bored of seeing Kofi with the title run. I'm being bored by it by now. Yeah, I don't want to come off of, the chase is over, so it's like, he's champ now, so it's whatever. And maybe you're right. But overall, I thought SmackDown was lazy again, just like Raw last night. In case you guys haven't realized, dorks, this is your SmackDown Live review for April 30th, 2019. SmackDown Live was live tonight from somewhere in Ohio. I think it was Ohio State. And I welcome your feedback. I want to hear from you guys in the comment threads below. Your thoughts on SmackDown. Did you actually enjoy this show? Did you think this show was garbage, like I felt it was, and lazy at the same time? Or you have mutual feelings about this show? I welcome your feedback, whether it's in the comment threads of this video, or if not, on Twitter at HeelSteven. Before I go any further with the SmackDown review, early this morning, I did review Monday Night Raw, where I gave my thoughts on what was a lazy Raw as well, and a waste of spots for the women's and men's Money in the Bank ladder matches. And, on Raw last night, they gave everyone handouts, if you will. You get a spot in the match. You get a spot in Money in the Bank. Hey, Dana, I know you're not doing anything. You're in catering right now. And you get a spot. And I think, okay, maybe on SmackDown, there's that hope that these fuckers will qualify for the matches, right? They'll do qualifying matches. No, again, just handouts. Again, and it's back to what I'm saying. Like, back in the day, I remember when I was a child, right? I used to watch WWE, and whenever they'll do like King of the Ring tournaments or Money in the Bank ladder matches, right? Back when it was a WrestleMania thing, and they were just getting the pay-per-views, or other tournament like gauntlet matches or beat the clock challenges, they'd have to compete in these matches to qualify. Now it's just handed, like it's laziness. And granted, you can make the argument, but Steve, Money in the Bank is 2 weeks away from now, so they need to just build this shit up by now. But no, still, it's just laziness to me. Lazy and just like, But they filled up both matches, the men and the women, which I'm going to get into also. The Hardy Boys have relinquished their tag titles. And we also get a Kevin Owens show, and apparently Shane McMahon has his version of the Stooges which we'll get into as well. By the way, say hello to Shane 2 Feuds. Goddamn, pal. So the show kicked off with Michael fucking Cole, interviewing Kofi Kingston, talking about what happened last week. You guys remember last week, Kofi Kingston got turned on by Kevin Owens, KO, Big O, if you will, who turned on the New Day. And Kofi talking about how, you know what, people are saying that he should have thought this coming, but one thing about the New Day, they welcome everybody. They believe in giving people second chances. Hey, at least that's very, noble of them. Me, honestly, I don't believe in second chance. Sometimes I do. It's rare that I do, honestly. You fuck me over once, that's it. There's people in this society that do not believe in second chances. More power to you. And it's this whole thing to talk about what happened to Xavier Woods, and how all this is leading up to him saying, hey, you know what? If Kevin Owens wanted a shot at the WWE Championship, all he had to do was just ask, and he would have gotten it. So it's official now. At Money in the Bank, it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. And I said this early in this review. I'm happy for Kofi. He won the belt. I was there at MetLife when he won the belt and all that. I did a vlog on it too. If you have not checked those vlogs out, go check them out. They're very, very fun vlogs, by the way. WrestleMania 35. We have a playlist in the channel somewhere. And I just feel like now it's ran its course already. Great, he won the belt. And 9 times out of 10, for babyfaces, is mostly about the chase, not the reign, if you will. So part of me really hopes that Kevin Owens does walk out of Money in the Bank with the WWE title. I know it might not even happen, but there's that part of me that hopes it, if you will, but to each their own. Then Kevin Owens comes out. He gets interrupted by Xavier Woods, and the two argued until Xavier, again, it was Owens and Kofi were talking back and forth, and Xavier comes out. I'm sorry. Goddamn, I ain't correcting myself here. And Xavier goes to attack Owen, but Owen hits him with a super kick, lays him out. Kofi runs for it, try to check up on Xavier Woods, and that's how they started the show off. Again, which I kind of did enjoy in a way, but at the same time, I'm hearing people say, oh, it's been beaten to death already before it even started. I get that too. But at the same time, hey, here's Kevin Owens. You're establishing this guy as a bad guy. Kevin Owens is one of those guys that he can pull off babyface and heel just like that. So my hat's off to him for that too. We get the first match of the night for the first time ever. They've been building this shit up for the first time ever. I'm pretty sure they forgot they had a match on NXT years ago when Bayley was on her way to facing Sasha for the NXT Women's Championship on the road to TakeOver Brooklyn 1, which I was at too, by the way. It was Becky Lynch versus Bayley, 1-on-1. The first time ever, by the way. First time ever. Becky 2 belts comes out there. They have the match. The match is okay. It didn't really go. It kind of did go along a little bit, but it was okay for what it was. It's back and forth. It all ended up though where Lynch countered the top rope elbow drop from Bayley with knees and then locked into this armor for the submission victory. So Becky got the win. Made sense. Again, Becky's going into the pay-per-view in 2 weeks from now, defending both her titles in 2 different matches. The Raw Women's title versus Lacey Evans, and then the SmackDown Women's title versus Charlotte Flair. So it makes sense you have her win. And then after this, just like on Raw, where Lacey Evans came out and attacked or tried to attack Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair comes out and hits Becky with a big boot, throws Bayley out of the ring. So, again, you're showing that here's Charlotte Flair, her dominance, how there's momentum with her too, which I'm okay with. They didn't have a brawl, thank God, but still, it's there for what it was. Charlotte Flair, I said this before, she is now La Ingobernable. She is, basically La Ingobernable, La Ruda, if you will. If you follow Lucha Libre, you would know those references, but that's just around the point. Aleister Black did some vignettes again backstage in some dark room. He's wearing a suit, talking about spooky things, about fear, how people have fear, and how it's fear when they face him in the ring, and when it's over with, the fear has disappeared from the earth, and it just fades to black. Something in those words. And you know what? I dig this in a way. I dig these vignettes. People are saying, oh, it's the second coming of Bray Wyatt or The Undertaker. I don't know about that. I think we shouldn't be comparing shit to Taker. We should not be. But I think, in a way, it's something different for him to do. It's unique until eventually he debuts officially in a singles match. Been holding up. I don't know for how long, but I'm okay with it in some way. I really, really am. I see big things happening for Aleister Black on SmackDown Live. I really, really do. But we'll see. We get the Hardy Boys who are coming out. They are being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. And the Hardy Boys talking about them having to relinquish the tag title, the SmackDown tag titles, because Jeff Hardy's injured. And we all know that Hardy got hurt at a house show. But what I did like here is that they actually made it seem that Lars Sullivan was the reason behind this. You got to remember this too. Lars Sullivan has been beating up small guys, whatever, on Raw and on SmackDown. So it makes it believable that, hey, because of Lars Sullivan's attacks, Jeff Hardy's now injured. And you know what's funny too? I'm watching this whole thing. And maybe I'm the only one that caught this. But Jeff Hardy's starting to grow out gray hairs. And it's like, bruh, I'm getting old already. I'm getting old for this shit in some way. I remember watching Jeff Hardy when I was a kid. And now seeing him at the age of 28 that I am, seeing him all these years, and now he's getting these gray hairs and shit. It's like, goddamn, yo, time is going by so fucking fast. Where the fuck is my adulthood going into? I'm just saying. And then out comes Lars Sullivan. But basically, yeah, they relinquish the tag title. Now my question is, what do you do with the tag titles now? Honestly, at this point, I would rather them merge both titles, the Raw and the SmackDown tag titles. Just merge them into one. I'm pretty sure they'll do a tournament or something like that. The only problem is on SmackDown, what tag teams do you have? The B team, who just re-emerged again? The Colognes, who you barely hear from? What other tag team do you have? You don't really have that much tag team on SmackDown. You sent Saturday to separate themselves and shit for no reason whatsoever. Apparently, Killian Dane is now on NXT again, and Alexander Wolf is on NXT UK. I mean, why not just send Killian Dane to NXT UK? I'm just saying. But there's really a lack of tag teams on SmackDown Live. That's obvious as all hell. Lars comes out and he goes into attack mad. And Jeff Hardy's trying to get out of the ring. He's on a crutch, by the way. He's on a crutch. He's limping around. He's trying to get out. He's trying to escape. And there's a moment where he's trying to fight him with the crutch. R-Truth comes from behind with a steel chair, hits Lars in the back, no effect. And then they do this thing where R-Truth throws the chair and Lars just punches it like the Big Show would do back in the day. And what I found funny in the replay, they show Lars punching the chair and they added a sound effect. That slow motion sound, which I thought was corny. By the way, that's just me, of course, but again, you're showing Lars' dominance, and where does he go from here? I'm pretty sure on the kickoff show on Money in the Bank, it's going to be R-Truth and Lars Sullivan, because why the fuck not? You know, Lars Sullivan, he's going to go places. Either two things will happen. Either at SummerSlam, he hits the wall that's Roman Reigns, or at WrestleMania, he hits the wall that is John Cena, just like Rusev did at WrestleMania 31 with John Cena. Something like that I think will happen. But we'll see. We get a tag team match. We get Asuka versus Asuka and Kairi Sane versus two local talents. Yeah, the Iconics on commentary. You know what's funny? They show Corey Graves on commentary. And I didn't catch this. But Corey Graves is spotting a new haircut. Corey Graves looks like someone that hit rock bottom and lost everything. And when he went to his barber, they asked him, so, bro, what are you getting? And he just said, just fuck it. Just fuck it. And the barber was like, say no more. And just gave him a fucking buzz cut. He, again, looks like he's in fucking rehab and shit. That's what he looks like right now. And Kairi Sane won the match for the team with the Insane Elbow. They actually now remixed both theme songs to Asuka and Kairi Sane. I mean, honestly, they don't need Paige. I mean, I'm fine with them doing the tag team. I'm fine with that. But at the same time, it's like, yo, it's a missed opportunity. Because Asuka, I think, should have been in Money in the Bank. I think she should have been there. By the way, Bailey is one of the women that are entering the Money in the Bank ladder match, by the way. Bailey. And you also find out later on in the night that Mandy Rose, because she was talking back and forth with Sonya Deville about who should join this Money in the Bank ladder match, and so he's like, you know what, it should be you, Mandy. I predict that somewhere down the road, Mandy Rose will have herself. I believe that Sonya Deville will cost Mandy Rose the match. I predict that. Somewhere there's some dissension right there. I predict that. But we also find out that from the men's, adding the other spots in this match, because you remember on Raw, it's going to be Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre. So on Monday Night Raw, but on SmackDown Live, you're going to get Finn Balor, who's the Intercontinental Champion. You have Ali, Andrade, and Randy Orton filling up the remaining spots for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And on SmackDown, you have Mandy Rose, you have Bailey, you have Ember Moon, and as well as Carmella filling up the women's spots. So from the women's spots, in total, you have those women that I mentioned. And then on Raw, you have Alexa Bliss, Dana Brooke, God help us all, Natty, and as well as freaking Naomi. And Alexa Bliss, I bet I mentioned her, but you kind of get the idea. God help us all. Seriously, God help us all. We get a promo from Roman Reigns about punching Vince McMahon in the face. And you know what I find annoying? And again, you guys know me, I love Roman Reigns. I'm a Roman Reigns fan. But even I'll admit, when they come, when he goes out there and says, when they go out there and they reference, oh, SmackDown biggest acquisition, it's cringeworthy. It's annoying. And then he talks about, oh, making a first impression. Like, bruh, you've been on SmackDown before 3 years ago. You've been around already. What name do you got to make for yourself? What first impression? You've been on the main roster now since 2012. What fucking first impression do you have to fucking make? I don't get it. It's stupid. He talked about punching Vince McMahon in the face. Shane McMahon interrupted him. And they're talking back and forth how, you know, he wants Mike Rome to introduce him properly. The best in the world, Shane McMahon, and shit like that. He threw a jab at Ohio State. Talk about training to beat up the Miz in the cage match. Let this sink in. Shane McMahon is in 2 feuds right now in WWE. On Raw with the Miz and on SmackDown with Roman Reigns. Shane 2 feuds. Can we call him that? Shane 2 feuds. I would rather take Shane 2 feuds any day of the week over Becky 2 belts. That's just me, of course. That's just me. And he tells Roman Reigns that, you know what, he would love to punch and beat up Roman Reigns, but instead, there's people in the back that would love to do it for him. So, also, at the same time, welcome him to SmackDown. So, out comes the B team. It's funny because the B team are there. And Shane has to decide who's going to face Roman Reigns. And he's looking at both guys. It's going to be you. It's going to be you. It's sad. Shane McMahon does not even know the members of the B team by names. Does not know that, hey, that's Curtis Axel or Bo Dallas. Which I thought was sad as shit. And funny at the same time. But what I'm seeing there too, honestly, could they also reference the fact, oh, what's next? Because Roman was saying, what's next? They're going to have me be blindfolded with an arm tied behind my back. And it reminded me a lot when Austin faced McMahon years ago in the Attitude Era, right? During the time where Vince had the stooges of Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson. I mean, we could be seeing the reincarnation, I guess, of McMahon with the stooges. This time it's Shane being the role of Vince and Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel being the roles of Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. The only question is, though, who's Patterson in this one? Is it freaking Curtis Axel or Bo Dallas? That's the question here. Or is it, I don't know, but still. And then Shane go on to say it'll be a handicap match. But also, there'll be a special referee enforcer, and that being Elias. The match was there for what it was, overcoming the odds, Roman Reigns as always. And Reigns was about to win the match, right? Was about to win after the Superman punch of Curtis Axel, but Elias pulled the referee out of the ring. Reigns took out Elias with the Superman punch and then speared Axel for the win. So Roman Reigns overcame adversity yet again. Can someone make a GIF out of this? Can someone make a GIF out of this? Just saying. It'd be cool if y'all did. It is what it is. So not tweet at me at Heel Steven. We get a tag team match of Finn Balor and Andrade. Finn Balor and Ali versus Andrade and Randy Orton. Before the match even happened, Andrade got on the mic. And so did Zelina Vega. And Andrade talked about how he has no respect for Finn Balor. Understandably so. They have a win over each other, right? He had no respect for Ali. Talks about Randy Orton telling him about how, you know what, amigo, when you tag me in, let me show you something here or there, right? It was cringe. I'll admit that. As a fan of Andrade, I'll even say that it's cringeworthy. It really, really is. He should not be talking on the mic. He really should not. But because he's nailing Charlotte Flair, they're letting it slide. Okay? Let's be real about it. In all this, Andrade is the winner. In all this. Because who he's nailing. That's not a bad thing. It really is not a bad thing. It worked for Triple H years ago, right? So why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? The match was there. Ali pinned Andrade with the old 5-4. After the match, Orton hit an RKO on Balor, and then Ali super kicked him out of the ring and stood tall. He prevailed. He prevailed. Yay. I did mention earlier that they announced the other remaining women. So I did say, yeah, it was going to be Bayley, Mandy Rose. We also find out it was Carmella and Ember Moon. People are kind of upset with it. I can understand. Where's Ruby Riott? Hashtag Ruby in the bank, right? All the dorks out there on social media being hashtag activists, hashtag Ruby in the bank, right? If you will. Where's Sasha Banks? I mean, Sasha's at home petting her dogs, so that's not happening. Where is Tamina? I mean, honestly, listen, you knew that was going to happen. Take it for what it's worth. We then get the final thing on the show, the Kevin Owens show, with special guest Kevin. With special guest, it was supposed to be Xavier Woods, but Xavier Woods was taken out early in the day. But by the way, when that happened, they go backstage where Kofi's checking up on Xavier, telling him to just be careful. He's looking out for him. He has a family, and he repeats himself. The laziness in a segment sometimes where you got your WWE champion repeating himself again. And I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but I did. So we get the Kevin Owens show. Xavier Woods is coming out. So Kevin Owens goes into his pocket and reaches out for an Xavier Woods action figure. And then busts out a Big E action figure. Big E action figure had a little tape on his leg. And then he throws it, whatever, and just talks about crap. Talks about how no one buys Kofi as champion, whatever. And then he goes on to see, we're going to say, you know, how he knows how both Big E and Xavier feel. Out comes Kofi Kingston. And there's a brawl to close the show where Kofi stood tall. And Kevin Owens ran away. Listen, I'm all for the match, but I think the big money in some way, shape, or form is when Big E returns. I said this before and I'll say it again. When Big E returns, I'm telling you guys right now, when he returns and you plant the seeds of a New Day split, which I know they'll never do, but if they were to do it, that'll be awesome. And hello, heel Big E. Think about it, right? It writes itself. Kofi said it, you know what? They should have saw this coming. And if you're Big E, you're sitting at home watching all this go down, and when he comes back, you know, they talk about how Kofi let his guard down after it was Big E who, again, got him the match at WrestleMania and all this. How you repay him? The story writes itself, guys. But as always, guys, I welcome your feedback. Oh, by the way, they also played the same replay of the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt and the Rambling Rabbit and Abby the Witch and the word of the day sociopath and shit like that. So that was pretty cool. But that's my honest thoughts on SmackDown Live. Dorks, I always welcome your opinion in the comment thread below. Your thoughts on SmackDown Live. Did you enjoy the show? Did you not enjoy the show? Give me your thoughts in the comment thread below about SmackDown Live if you actually did enjoy the show or not. Or maybe you thought the show, like me, you just felt it was lazy. It was all that fun stuff. Did you actually look forward to are you looking forward to Money in the Bank and all that fun stuff? Again, if you have not yet, go check out my Raw review from early today. Also, for all my Impact diehards out there, For all the Impact diehards, I have also my Impact Rebellion review is up on the channel. It's almost at 1,000 views. It was another installment of Around the Point. It was recorded this past Sunday after Rebellion with myself, Big Mike, and from the WNC, the Wrestling National Committee, Michael Corvin. We all discussed Rebellion. So if you've not checked that out, go anyway and check it out if you're an Impact Wrestling diehard out there. All right? But you can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, and I welcome your feedback as always. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. And give the video a big old thumbs up. And as always, y'all, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, dorks, it's Steve, and I am out like Janet's titties, y'all. Peace out, mother flowers. Dorks.